How many of you remember Netflix's series about unsolved mysteries? I know that there's an entire old show that ran for like 600 plus episodes called Unsolved Mysteries. But do you remember when Netflix a couple years ago revamped that entire series? Do you remember the episode, Abducted by a Parent? This is very happy news. Abdul Aziz Khan vanished from his home in Georgia and was miraculously found 1,500 miles away. A 7-year-old boy whose abduction case was featured in a Netflix true crime show has miraculously been found. Abdul Aziz Khan was taken in Atlanta, Georgia in 2017, just after Thanksgiving, in what was shaping up to be a mysterious cold case. The show exposes some heartbreaking cases in a bid to whip up public interest and help solve them. Signposting at the end of every episode where viewers can send in their tip-offs. In the case of Abdul, it was suspected he was taken by his mom, Rabia Khalid, after his father was granted full custody by the courts. Now, the youngster has finally been found over 1,500 miles away in Colorado by a complete happy accident. If you don't remember this episode, I highly suggest you go back and rewatch it, because in 2017, when this aired, it's now 2025. You got to consider that's, already been about 8 years for this child to have been missing. And it was absolutely horrendous and heartbreaking to watch not only what the father was talking about, how his 7-year-old son just came up gone, but his sister as an aunt. I'm an aunt of 8. I became an aunt at 7 years old, and I could not even imagine if having to watch one of my 2 older sisters having gone through having their 7-year-old be completely just taken and be missing for so many years. As an aunt, that is horrifying, because it's like your sister's kids, your brother's kids are like your kids. In fact, sometimes you feel even more connected to your siblings' children than you do your own, and even more protective over them. And I know what that's like. I definitely know what that's like. According to the Mirror, police were called out to reports of a home burglary when they stumbled across the missing youngster. The homeowner called the cops after claiming to have seen 2 intruders on the CCTV cameras of the property listed for sale as of February 23rd. Douglas County Sheriff's Office raced to the scene, where they discovered 2 children in the back of a parked car in the driveway and spoke to the youngsters while the 2 adults allegedly broke into the property. The pair were arrested at the scene and later identified as Rabia Khalid, 40, the now missing 14-year-old's mom, and Elliot Blake Bourgeois, 42. A felony warrant for Rabia Khalid was issued on January 2nd of 2020, Douglas County Sheriff's Office. Khalid and Bourgeois are being held on charges which include second-degree kidnapping, forgery, identity theft, providing false statements to authorities, trespassing. The news outlet reports the bond for their release has been set at $1 million each. As for the youngster, he is in protective custody while the identity of the other child found in the car with him has not been revealed. In a statement, the boy's family said they were overwhelmed with joy to have found him again. The statement read, "We are overwhelmed with joy that Aziz had finally been found. We want to thank everyone for their support over the last 7 years. We specifically want to recognize the Douglas County Sheriff's Office for their exceptional work in solving this case. Now, as we navigate the next steps, we ask for privacy so that we can move forward as a family and heal together." Douglas County Sheriff's Darren Weekly added, "Our deputies responded to what was initially seemed to be like a routine trespass call, but through sharp attention to detail and tenacity, they uncovered the truth. Their ability to recognize the discrepancies in the suspect's story and to follow the leads, even when the situation seemed unclear, ultimately led to the safe recovery of a child who has been missing for almost 8 years. U.S. Marshal Enoch Smith III for the Eastern District of Louisiana also issued thanks to Netflix Unsolved Mysteries, as well as NCMEC and Crime Stoppers for directing the public's attention to this matter. Another happy story. A man who was abducted at age 6 is found alive 73 years later after his niece's incredible search for the truth. An Oakland man who was taken at the age of 6 has been found safe and sound 73 years later. The surprising discovery comes thanks to his niece, who has been on an incredible search to discover the truth. Back in 1951, Luis Armando Albino was playing in Jefferson Square Park with his brother Roger in West Oakland, California. During the play date, a woman approached the young boy and lured him in with the promise of some sweets. The then 6-year-old was flown across the country to New York, where he was brought up by a couple like he was their own. Meanwhile, Lewis's family on the West Coast were left devastated and searching for answers. Thanks to DNA, his niece has located him and has been able to solve a case that has been open for more than 73 years. And he's still alive. That's absolutely phenomenal, fantastic that this even came to be. So this is a good example of how the mainstream media, as well as true crime and anti-crime creators, can actually do some good. Because not only do they do things like locate the body of a missing person like Gabby Petito, they can actually locate, after almost 8 years, a little boy who was 7, taken from his father's sole custody and located at almost 15 years old by officers. And the fact that somebody could be missing for 73 years and DNA helped quickly bring some kind of closure to that family, but still in time that he's still alive. A lot of people don't live to see 70. Only 27 out of every 100 people live to see their 70th birthday. So that is absolutely a beautiful and phenomenal story. It is just absolutely great. It is great that he was still alive to be able to bring some kind of closure, to be able to understand what happened to him, because at 6, it's very easy for people to forget before 6. And so when you're taken like that and you're raised by somebody else, he would have probably had not very many memories of his real family, his real parents, his brother, and what actually happened. But this is also exactly why people that are anti-crime and true crime creators, why they get into cases like this, why they speak about it. Because out of 330 million American citizens, out of 195 countries on planet Earth, across 7 continents, there's 8 billion Homo sapiens on planet Earth. All it takes is that one person to see something, to report something, to do due diligence, to be able to remember a small little detail that can bring closure. And this is a happy closure, because this man is going to be able to heal. This child is going to be able to heal. They're going to be able to get their son back. And I pray and give my heartfelt condolences moving forward that everything goes smoothly for the both of them, especially for that little boy. Because 8 years is a long time, but he's still young enough that there's hope. There's hope in recovery. There's hope in healing. There's hope in all of it. And I pray that they nail that bitch who took him. Yeah. Because she deserves nothing less than life for what she did. We are sending the wrong message when we are allowing people to commit heinous felony crimes and barely giving them any kind of consequences whatsoever. So that's my own opinion on that. But we have the law for a reason. And when some people feel that they're above the law or the law doesn't apply to them, what do we have? We have people committing acts like this and other people following in their footsteps because they think, why not? So-and-so did it, I could do it. You know, they feel entitled. They feel entitled enough that they're above it. But guess what? You're not. Nobody is. And that is precisely the reason why internet sleuths, true crime anti-crime creators do exactly what they do. For this exact story, for this exact reason. And don't forget, they helped also find Gabby Petito's body.